Okay, there we go. And hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Third time's a charm to the Season 6 Aurora Overwatch Clash BOON1E Bowl, the grand finals between the Slovenian Slouchers and the Sydney Seadragons. I'm BOON1E. Joining me today will be Neptune. And Neptune, I told you, beginning of the year, we were going to make it to the finals, brother. And I kept my promise. We're right here. Just as we both expected. And now, we're going these two teams, not our 1 or 2 seeds, the number 3, number 5, sort of upset, but I think a lot of people had these teams higher in the power rankings than really the ranking would say. So the fact they're here, we're probably getting the best match we could possibly hope for in this current look of Overwatch.
100%. I love how this current season just kind of went underway, right? With just so many teams being able to upset one another compared to last season, where a lot of it was like top heavy until the later end, where I think a lot of teams found their groove in the later season. My mind rings like the Kiwis, but going through this season, like everyone was really competitive, and I love that for this season.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that all these teams are really close, like the difference between, our second seed for the Seadragons and the 5th seed was literally like a couple maps. So it just lets you know how close this season was, and really all came down to, a classic Overwatch patch right before playoffs and finals began. So, but I mean, to be fair, the Sydney Seadragons probably looked one of the stronger teams on a lot of different looks going into the year. More flexible squad, whereas the Slouchers, doesn't matter what patch you're on when you got HT design, clicking heads and taking names. So honestly, this game could go either way. It just depends who shows up. Is it, we just kind of have this discussion of just team play versus overall just carry performance, and Slouchers are no slouch, no pun intended on that one, but HT design is definitely the one to look out for here. Do the Seadragons have an answer for this, stellar rookie and potentially rookie of the year candidate going forward here? I'm not exactly sure, but Neptune, you're the big brain coach here. I know there's a patch earlier today. Do we think there's going to be any kind of swap up in the meta here? We're seeing a lot of Malga in the playoffs, maybe some Orisa, but with, of course, the recent changes and also a subsequent nerf to Sojourn, we might be going back to kind of what we saw beginning of the week here with no real change going forward.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this matchup with that Sojourn buff because, in my opinion, that really enabled these more like risk comps to be played, as we saw in the Face It League. If anyone was tuning in, Nightmare was running a lot more risk comps on like Coliseum with Infected in, and as we know, the Slouchers heavily prefer that look rather than the Magamir, right? But now going to the Sojourn nerfs, can we keep that like more spam look with the Orisa? I'm not quite sure.
It's definitely be interesting looking forward to. I know I ranked for the Seadragons for Scrim earlier this week, and they are, of course, still heavily favoring that Malga look. I didn't see too much of a difference, too much of a kind of switch up here for their actual composition, whereas the Slouchers have kind of been the complete opposite, the anti-Malga team going in here. And yes, we are seeing actually Malga out for fish to begin with here in the spawn, but I don't know if that sticks HDs on the Junkrat of all things. Of course, put your type 100 champion hit scan on the Junkrat and see what happens. But okay,
we're gonna please, Maga, it's my Champ 5 game. Please play Maga. It's my Champ 5 game.
Okay, it appears Corey is going to restart his PC. I guess. We didn't want to start before 10 o'clock, didn't we? But I guess we can talk a little bit more about what we might be expecting in a meta style. If we do see Fish out on the Malga, it'd be a completely different look that we've seen from the Slouchers all these playoffs here. And hold on, we need teams to switch sides. Teams switch sides, please. Okay, we got that figured out. So what's interesting here, of course, we saw Sonic Ronic a lot this week posting in general chat about how well his performance for the Sojourn and comp was going. Went from match 5 to plat 1 speed run. So
he's definitely pulling that Surge, and not Genji. I don't think we're gonna see the Genji out at all from Sonic. That Surge is gonna carry this game right now.
I think honestly the biggest surprise for a lot of people this season on the Slouchers has been Yak. Of course, known for that kind of that damaged look, but playing a lot more support here. And with the Juno, we've seen a lot more actually Alari from this team, kind of a really different team in terms of compositions. Hopefully we get the village right away so we can restart again. And wow, look at that. Loving things work out.
Actually perfect. No cheating going on here.
But let's see. Let's say you're the Slouchers, right? You're going against the Seadragons, who are probably, I'd say slight favorites in terms of the community right now for what we've seen so far out of them in the playoffs. How are you going to stop this aggressive Malga play coming from them if you're going to maybe not mirror the Malga? Do you go to Orisa and just kind of save your coolant for the Malga? Or what is the plan here? And they're showing the same comp again with a Junkrat and Spawn. This might actually be a real look we're seeing from the Slouchers here early.
And that's going to be really interesting, you know, just going to be really trying to probably mess up the Seadragons Sim Metro look if they choose to do so. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that was the Roosters were having that look a lot more. But it's going to be really interesting just having this Malga mirror when the Slouchers never favored that look up until now.
And there's the reason.
He baited us. I hate it here.
And before that being said, shout out to Panini and Zinth for the Prime subs. Appreciate it. Of course, showing some hype for the Grand Finals here. But it's going to be the Orisa versus that Malga look here. Both these teams seemingly knowing what they are expecting from their opponent. And maybe a bit of a high ground conceding coming out here right now from the City Seadragons, opting more for the point brawl with that speed rain going right towards that point. Looking to put some pressure back in, but Fish is there to meet it. A nice jab. Seadragons takes that Echo very low, but Corey, Seadragons both extremely weak. But no real fault coming through right now for the Slovenian Slouchers. Fish using that spin, but Fish gets the kill early on Seadragons with 2 quick kills. Corey tried to exchange it back, but with 3 in the favor of Slouchers right now. That will be a point flip, and I don't know if it's going to be repeatable here multiple times, but Slouchers seeming to deal with the Seadragons comp pretty well there.
Yeah, no, it's half of it has to do with the Seadragons just not correctly just going onto the risk comp, right? They can't sustain on point without rushing onto a target. So once they get to point, they really need to find someone to either kill or mark or something. But they're going to opt to go this high ground eventually and eventually go on the back lane like I mentioned.
HT Design with like 3 HP getting out of that fight with Corey off on the side, but taking that Sojourn down early here. A lot of just that great damage coming through. And speaking of another quick fight victory here for his Phoenix Slouchers, and they're looking great so far. Neptune HT Design on this Genji is putting in some work, but Fish on the Orisa is no slouch in the face of the Malga.
Yeah, Fish and as well as like ASC are doing such an amazing job at marking these chokes, while Sky gets to be able to play it in that back, just building that rail, exactly how they want to be playing this comp like we talked about. And it's going to be a little bit unfortunate for the Seadragons going to point. They do have their supportals coming online, but you know, the Slouchers themselves, they have a lot of ultimates to play around with themselves. And as you see, this overclock comes
early overclock
here.
takes down Silver Towels. They cannot build up towards their overworld array. They did end up also using the Terror Surge on that point, but just melting down the opposition here with that overclock shots from the high ground. Nothing the Seadragons are doing is working, and they didn't even get Blade or Overworld out. It's going to be a huge ult disadvantage coming in here for them. They are 75% to a cage here, Neptune. Melon can't shoot anything right now.
Yeah, and they basically almost have to go force point. And as we're seeing, just like them deciding if they can take this high ground, and they do choose to do so, and this is going to make the touch a lot more scarier.
Walking right in the orbit right here as well. Silver Tiles 1 HP, but gets out that ultimate before they fall. So they go to Orbital's stage on the high ground. We have Corey with the overclock trying to get something done here. It's a very even fight on for both sides. 90%, 99. Do they get a touch? They do just in time. Melon charging on in with that overrun. And despite the slight ult advantage coming in for the Slouchers, Silver Tells just in time, frame perfect, gets their overworld out and gives the team the sustain they need.
Yeah, at least for the Seadragons, you're looking forward to having this cage fight as, you know, alongside this Blade coming through from Sonic. And as we're seeing, this just marking this like high ground, playing it really slowly.
Very aggressive pushing here right now with the speed ring, with that overrun in onto the Slovenian Slouchers kind of core, but no real fault. They did get some cooldowns out of Fish, but for now, a very just sustainable fight here for the Slouchers, playing this slow. Letting her defense get set up, almost taken down as Seadragons takes a nice shot to the dome there, and Seadragons can't use the blade! A cage does come out. Frosty using that ride, trying to set up a Sky, finding 2 here. Frosty does fall in the path of that rally, but there's still the reinforcements are here for us. Fish 1 HP burning alive, slammed down by Melon. Melon is very high HP right now. HT's trying to find a kill around to Ari, but Corey is taken down in the Soj mirror. Still point in flavor of the Slouchers for now. The slam in once again here from Melon over on to this Genji, but Sky has come alive with yet another pick for the team. 1% away from the overclock. Should need Sonic with the blade over on towards the point, but no targets to slice on through. Still, in control of the Seadragons for now, 55% and counting, getting close to the end. But the reinforcements are here for Slouchers first, as the DPS are finally returning to the fray. But the overclock is there to pop for Sky. Melon on point, getting Meltdown down, Terror Surge as well, fighting Silver Talons, and here comes Sky with the follow-up, finding 2 with the overclock. And Melon, not long for the world. Corey is a sad venture, gonna get bladed into the ground here as AC's on trying to track down this venture to get the kill, but the Mega is gated by Corey. He is stat padding in my finals, but doesn't get the kill, but they get the points.
KD players, am I right?
And we're getting the Slouchers taking his first point.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the Slouchers are just playing their comp like amazingly. Like on their retake, they're playing really slowly, developing angles and baiting that rush. If they keep playing like that, I honestly think this series, this grand finals is going to be in the Slouchers. They're actually just playing this comp like perfectly, and the Seadragons have to find an answer to that. Whether it's playing like hyper aggressive and making sure they get a kill and committing to their plan, or just finding something else that sticks.
They're just not giving them a core to pounce on. You know, we see these speed rings, and there's just no one to go on. They just spin away and stay alive while the DPS are still in your backline. They are not giving them a solid core to charge on. So again, Slouchers might have a bit of an answer for now. The Seadragons are now on serve to respond. Going for a bit of a long rotation, but Slouchers going to meet that one and flip the map here in terms of spawns. Melon, bit of a solo adventure, but Corey is caught in the Mega Room from AT Design! And with the Sojourn out of the way, now Sky goes forward here, does get deflected right back into that full charge shot. But now the Seadragons are very split. Fish trying to walk down Silver Towels and Amalga on the other side, but Melon keeping himself nice and healthy here on the side, gets a charge on in, looks for a slam onto the back line, will find Sky. Do they get the kill? They do not do that. The sustain from Yak and Frosty, just too much. The point did flip here for the Slouchers early, but might flip right back. We're going to lose Melon over on towards this point. Sunrod trying to capitalize here, trying to bring it back for the team, but there's too many picks here for them to go on through. However, Fish 1 HP. Maybe Turnbull here's Corey returns on the Torbjorn of all things. Sky trying to take down Sonic in the Sky Room, and they will do just that. The turret, the nerfs, the buffs were just not enough there for Corey. Trying to run away, save the KD once again. But Melon, this fight is still going on, charging on right back from the spawn room. Silver Towels just get AD strafe over onto that Sky shot. Trying to dodge that one on AC sign, 50% towards the blade. They will eventually let the point flip. Of course, Downfish couldn't really sustain through all that Malka pressure, but now here comes the dive and the aggression from Melon in towards the back line. Ice over on towards that Genji. The fortified Orisa will not be moved. But that does not matter, as the Seadragons finally puts the Slouchers back and will probably equalize here on percentage.
Yeah, I mean, for the Seadragons, this is exactly what you want. You want to like have these chokes and have this risk try to retake into you, because at this point it's gonna be extremely hard. They have to use ults to get out of this choke, but Say is actually using that rally aggressively and amazing from them, or I should say Ari. But that was like a perfect rally, and like on the side of the Slouchers, they just have to use one of these support ults to like get out, and preferably it would probably be, depending on how they want to do, whether it wants to be Yak started off, get space, and then continue with Frosty AST's ult. That could be an option, or vice versa, where open with that combo, and then continue with Yak ult.
Going on in here, both DPS looking for a position to get on here to go open things up with a rally right now from Frosty. But here comes the blade out for both Genjis, but Fish slams on down, finding 2. Melon 1 HP, trying to stay alive through sustain, but will not do so. Silver Tells, the orbital ray was just not enough to keep the Malga alive through all that. HT Zion is losing a 1v1 to a turret on point, but will get the healing just in time. Corey gets his, but a fairly expensive fight for both sides here, but still an overclock here for Sky, ready to go. Only open on the field. Probably looking for an equal position of percentage here on the point, and just very back and forth here on this point, Neptune.
Yeah, and it goes back to like, how is this retake kind of work? And Melon might get chunked down and really be forced out of the fight for a little bit. But it looks like they're just going to be trying to take it to them, and that is the correct play. But they're able to play such a long distance, and we see Sky with this nasty offing long point with this OC, and I'm sure it's going to pop right now. Yep.
Use it right there. The overload there from Corey will keep it sustained through all that pressure, but it's a 3-on-4 here on the side. The slide on in. They find Melon icing over on towards that Malga. And with 2 quick ones, that will be the Slouchers. And at the percentage here, the Dragons need to die. They need to reset right now. Aura goes off the map. Sunrock looks to get back, but Corey might not be so lucky here. Getting chased down by Fish over into the spawn where Melon trying to get back here with the run to keep the team alive. Looks to be able to do just that. HT Zion so weak, but will get out with the dash. But now 90% and no ults here for Seadragons walking into just a complete dry fight here. And Ari and Corey are isolated right now, so 3-on-5 run towards the point.
Yeah, and Fish is gonna build the
Silvertail's down.
Yeah.
The spin out here as well forces the overrun out of Melon. Now the cooldowns are for free right now for Fish over onto Smalka, but gets the kill from Sonic. Ronic, a good response here from the Seadragons on towards the point. Sonic clutching up here. Melon will go down to the bash, but with the Molten Core on the point, not many positions the Slouchers can take. Slouchers again are in the position once again where they have to reset. They will have over advantage, but that's really about it. The Blaze will match. If Melon can survive long enough, the cage will be online as well. A very close fight coming up here in Neptune. I'm excited.
Yeah, and this is going to be pretty stacked, pretty evenly, actually. It's just kind of whether or not, like, the Slouchers find immediate value or not.
They might get a touch here.
Probably not.
Fish runs in here for the touch. Blades are exchanged, but both Genjis die almost instantly upon casting. Obodoray and Radley are online for the Slouchers, but the Seadragons have numbers on the point. Melon close to a cage here, ready to unleash it. They'll do Jessa on Sky. The Sojourn cannot slide out of this one. Stuck on the chain, and now Silver tells the Saboteur over to Ray. And we're tied up 1-1 here on Nepal. A much closer showing here for the Seadragons on Sanctum. And now we're going over Sanctuary.
In the wise words of all those goobers in the Twitch chat, aka the people that are playing, I think the Seadragons understand it now. A little bit better now. Just trying to like get on top of them or even absorb in a way. So it's gonna be like kind of weird. It's just, I think on this map it's gonna be really difficult for the Slouchers to have those like nice angles with the Sojourner. So going into this comp, like the Melon Brawl might be looking a lot better, and I wonder if they can keep that just kind of the momentum from last point onto here.
See going in as well, Corey and HDZine showing off these Symmetras for a TP, but I assume probably a Sojourn Genji swap respectively. Act going onto the Mei here to play with this Malga, trying to make it isolate over on towards Fish or another target, but now...
And I love that. I love that from Corey.
We'll have to see how it works as well, because now it's kind of leaves Sky uncontested up on the high ground right now. We'll see if they can just get the win the frontline pressure. Melon caught in a really awkward position here, gets booted back in. Melon 1 HP, Melon so low, will go down. They're gonna change out for one here over on towards Frosty, but down your Malga, your comp will have a hard time surviving. AC Zine getting the resets on these dashes here as the Seadragons begin to fall and to crumble. And we saw Melon just go a little too deep there down the back of his team.
Yeah, the Seadragons were really split on the start of that rollout. All they had to do was just get really grouped up and then kind of go at it together. But it seemed like the timing was really messed up, so that like really led to their downfall. I'm hoping for them, like, it looks like they're being able to stack a lot more right now. I don't love going this coast against that Surge. Sky might just find a pick off of this rotate alone. And as you see, Mel is just isolated because of how slow, but they're going to be able to turn this into a kill on ASD.
They do find an ASD, but Melon also is very weak as well. Losing out on the Aureo definitely takes exchange for Genji for Brigitte, but a nice wall here. Isis Fish over on towards this area. Has to use the gold form, but can't sustain through all this pressure. And despite losing Ari in that fight, not having AC designed to follow up on these kills has been a huge detriment for now for the Slouchers. But Sky has his overclock in the backline here. Deflect out from Stonron will try to keep the team alive, but the kills are here. AC Sign has returned to the point, and now Melon gets cleaned up. Somehow they turn that. A ridiculous turnaround here from Sky and AC Design. This DPS duo for Slouchers are going ballistic in the grand finals.
And only Sky had to pop their ult, so the economy from the Slouchers are just looking amazing. And so does Seadragons, but will Yak and like Fish pop their ults before they get anything online? Nah, that's cap. Corey and Silvertail's already got their ults. I just really hate this rotate that they're approaching here. Yeah, like
Silvertail's down early! And a boop off the side here from Fish, finding two Fish with a double spin kill off the map!
Holy, Fish is feeling himself right now. Hardcore. Yeah, those rotates are just not favorable for the Seadragons comp. You're just going through a lot of open space against a comp that wants to poke you. And finally, they are seeming to go main or bottom right. It just seems like main and point. Yeah, and that's still going to be really hard.
Comes a spin in from Melon here, gets jabbed away. Oh, Silvertails gets jabbed back 1 HP, trying to dodge up, but goes into the slow orb. And now Melon solo on the point, trying to build up towards a potential cage here, but the slam in from Fish will stop that from happening. And that will be Slouchers taking our first map here of Nepal, their map choice. And it appears they might have found an answer to potentially the Seadragons comp, which looks so good so far in the playoffs. They gotta make a comeback here to make some adjustments.
Yeah, no. So one thing they have to understand, the Seadragons, they have to understand that this right here is what they want to play for. This hardcore spam on these rotates, being able to punish you like non-stop, right? So one, they gotta like reduce line of sight, have better pathing to close onto their targets, and whether it be trying to burn fish, which is gonna be really hard because he has so much cooldowns to cycle through, or if they're able to get onto someone else, and going to like a stylistically change on Gibraltar, I think is gonna be really helpful for the Seadragons here to just kind of go into that dive and like take that better dive look, especially with Melon. Like Melon very prefers that Winston, and they look stellar all this season on it too.
Yeah, I'd love to see what the answer is for the Seadragons. Emphasize break is Gibraltar, but we'll give ourselves a quick little break here as well as you guys check, get some water. If we got ourselves a back for like this, we're going to be here a while, so strap in and get ready for hopefully what should be exciting grand finals. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash will continue after this. And welcome back in, everybody, to Overwatch Clash Season 6 BOON1E Bowl Grand Finals here between the City Seadragons and Slovenian Slouchers. Now going into Watch Point Gibraltar, a completely new look here for us. We're probably not going to see the Brawley, Orisa, Malka comps, but instead maybe a D.Va and or Winston here. We'll have to see what both these teams decide to roll out with. Of course, Melon, known probably for their extensive play in the dive, but Fish, no slouch on that one either when it comes to either the Winston or the D.Va, but it appears both teams going to be running out on the Winston here, at least to start things off.
Yeah, good old classic dive look here.
What's interesting here, of course, we do have to mention there has been some subs in as well. Flambo Jambo comes on in on support for the Slouchers, and Tankby for the DPS for the City of Seadragons. We're playing that Torbjorn here on the defense. A little bit of an anti-dive look here, but if Fish sticks with this Orisa, which maybe they're kind of showing here, maybe expecting the dive look and just saying come fight us on cart. Looks like they're kind of giving us
that's definitely an option here too. It might be a bit harder with Fish having to eat the risks with the nades, but I mean, myself, I played risks played on Gibraltar with an Orisa player before in my Path to Pro experience. You know, you can make it work.
I mean, Fish is just not really giving over some space on the high ground. Melon does jump on in to follow up on that anti-nade, but Melon 1 HP will jump out to safety just in time. But Fish coming to claim the high ground once again here with HT Design, trying to force the Seadragons in aqua position here. Tampy gonna get jabbed up on the high ground. A nice burn from Sky here. Or a 60% to this Bob, putting in some work on this Ashe right now. And Melon down early. That's not a good sign here as Fish still controls the high ground. So many critical members right now for the side of the Seadragons. They do exchange back over on towards Fish, but the cart is just getting overpassed right now. Bit of a scamper into the mega room here for the Seadragons as they try to sustain through all but Sky. Has control of the high ground and Bob ready to go basically. But Melon swaps back on Deal for a quick return, and Silver Tiles with a nano over on towards the Torbjorn. They will finally sustain and stabilize through all that. The fact that Silver Tiles and RC alive through that dive, immaculate, and the reward with an ultimate.
Realistically now, a lot of the map control should be in favor of the Seadragons to just be able to like have those angles, just be able to get any kill. That nano is going to be really missed out though. And Yak is coming in with this June ult mid-fight. Sky has their ult to brawl with this Bob, and that's probably what they'll do to take the server.
Melon just trying to force Fish off, but nice 1880 will land once again over on the Orisa. The follow through trying to come in from Seadragons on that. Melon falling pretty low here. Will get healed back up. The Bob from Sky to clear out some space. Tankby is isolated, but sleep is used, but it's not there anymore for HT Design. The anti-nade is, though, taking his Genji down. 1-for-1 on DPS here. The rally from Ori in the side room, but Melon cannot get in its range and will lose out on that healing. However, they've lost Flambo Jambo. Still very back and forth fight here. 1-for-1s on both sides, but Fish finally exchanged. Sky has control of the high ground. Melon with no defense to make sure to shut this down, but just needs the Bunny Blaster to get the kill. And this is just absolute chaos here on Gibraltar, trying to live HT Design 1v3 on the cart. Now, with the mech back in play, we'll retreat back to the high ground.
If you're the Seadragons right now, this is amazing by you. Just having these combos still up, having this Nano Blade, Tanix ult to really stall this cart. And then Slouchers, I think just finding immediate ult value with their ults is going to be very difficult. But it seems like they're forcing this cart like they should be, and then really threatening it.
Here comes the ultimate here from Yak, but HT Design taken down before they can pop that blade. Molten Core and Bomb over on towards the point. They lose out on a Melon and Fish. Both tanks are exchanged. Seadragons sets his sights on the Sky in the Mega Room, but the rod from Flambo Jambo might just stave out the side. Not long enough. Seadragons Dyson coming through, slice and dice through the two main members. And now Yak will get one for their troubles, but Fish forced to opt into this Diva mirror here. HT Design only on the field with the blade. It has to be huge.
Yeah, and at least it's hopeful for the Slouchers here. Just having this guy Bob come up mid-fight is going to be really what's going to allow them to overtake this. But all they have to do is just kind of play for that moment, and Sky should be closing it very soon. Just be able to go brawl, as long as they don't get picked up here.
They're taking a lot of damage right now on this high ground. They gotta kind of chill a little bit here. Maybe bite off one more they can chew before the fight really breaks out here. Seadragons gonna get marched here by Fish on this high ground, but Tampy no longer has use of the turret here. The Bob is gonna get stuck on the side. I don't know if that's where they wanted to put that one. They probably want to use it to try to clear up the space in the back, but not gonna do that. Here comes the blade out from HT Design. 1 HP, and Melon just with a punch will shut that down. Both DPS almost finding no value here for SV and Slouchers, and this looks like it will be a very stellar hold coming through with Ari. With this rally, we'll just put the icing on the cake here of this defense. And that will be Seadragons showing off dominance in the dive mirror so far. Looking great on their pick of Gibraltar.
Dive mirror, I'd say Fish, swapped out.
They had two fights to dive. They had 2 fights to dive mirror. They only won, so.
If you're the Seadragons, this is just looking so nice for you. I was a bit nervous just kind of like rolling out because just kind of playing to your strengths as we've seen, like just fish on that wrist in that brawl. But I feel like the Slouchers were just very lost. They really kind of stayed around on these high grounds, just kind of waiting and spamming them, almost kind of like, again, just spam. But once you're going into this match, you got to treat it like you're a brawl. Just W key at them and go kill them. And we weren't seeing a lot of that. And that's why the Seadragons thrived on that sub point there.
And obviously the swap is Tempe goes over onto the Echo here. No longer playing the Torbjorn. A little harder on the attack on Gibraltar, I'd say. But are they going for a bit of a hook TP combo here? Wouldn't I be surprised for that one? A bit of a Suzu as well. Keep the hog nice and healthy. But of course, this is watch point Gibraltar after all. Not a done deal whatsoever here on point A for the attackers. Seadragons, if they bring that same energy, will easily capture this one. But now Sky and AC Design with the defensive high ground might be a little more dangerous. But of course, Seadragons didn't get here by no, I guess no fluke. So they want to see us to a 1-1 series. But yeah, looks like they're going with this TP here. Make sure to watch the Roadhog here if you can get one. Didn't know where the TP was. Hooks in fish. Probably the one person he couldn't hook in that entire clump back there for finding an opening pick, but I guess it worked, quote unquote.
Any payload pushers? There we go.
Just for the fans at home, for the fans. Now, Blue Boss control still here right now for the Slouchers, and Dynamite will land in the backline. Tempe 1 HP, does get healed up by Silvertels. Building up that nano fairly effectively here. But AC Design and Sky once again controlling this high ground. A lot harder to dislodge them here. And Anti does find Flame up, but Silvertels finds the head. However, Melon flying on the back of that anti-nade. Silvertels left a parting gift for the team over on towards the point. And just on the underpass here, getting close to the map already. And Slouchers having no real answer so far.
Yeah, all you gotta really do if you're the Seadragons is just really force this point, shift their setup, and then just keep diving like you just did on that first sub point there. And that seems like it's going to be working now that they got it pushed out. They can go high ground. But Silvertel's is seeming to play under, and that's going to cause a lot of disruption for their team right now.
Melon gets out with about a sliver of HP, but that'll be a nice amount of healing here for Silvertels on this nano boost. Silent Rock stuck on the wall, but Fish stuck with an anti-nade in their face for now. No kills either team, not wanting to make the critical mistake here. But Fish flying solo on this cart. Yak trying to pump this D.Va full of that healing. Bob will come in for the assist here. Better placement this time. Melon gets the nano just in time. Fish losing that mech. Not the best start here. Melon has the bomb, but dies to the dynamite. A huge blunder there from the tank from the Seadragons, losing out on that health pool. And now what looks so promising dwindles down to about 2 minutes left. And a big advantage right now for the side of the Slouchers in terms of positioning here. On this point, it's going to get even harder for now.
It's insane how much time has really gone off the time clock here. Just being able to, like, like that fight was super long, having Sky ult. It's kind of perfect for the Slouchers just using that one ult, but they should be taking a lot more space here, trying to make the Seadragons struggle even more.
I guess maybe trying to bait him in for the Ray fight here. We'll see what the plan exactly is. Like Tempe does have the duplicate here, probably looking for this D.Va. Get double defense matrix diving in on the supports could spell defeat here for the side of the Slouchers. Here comes the D matrix. The double D matrix comes on in the rally, but a big bash from Flammo Jambo will stop. The squish, however, is there. The blade from AC Design has to be huge, but Ori with the rally to save that off. Still very back and forth here. AC Design and Sonic are exchanging blades, but Sonic's is going to be huge. Finding the critical picks they need. And Fish's bomb will not do nearly enough as no one can touch the points. And that will be the second map going the way of the Seadragons, tied up 1-1. Getting a little dicey towards the end, but hard to beat off against two divas in your face.
Yeah, that squish was such amazing. Like, just getting that just allowed them to cap that without a doubt. And a huge blade from Sonic here, just to clean it up and really confirm that they just win it out right here.
Getting the mid-air double slash there on the Juno. Clean there from the captain. And now goes, so it's a tied series 1-1. Slouchers, of course, now have their map choice. We'll have to see what they do on the other side of the break. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Overwatch Clash BOON1E Bowl for Season 6 will continue after a short little break. And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6 BOON1E Bowl. Our grand finals are here, and they are delivering so far. A tied series here, 1-1. Seadragons taking our last map of Gibraltar. Bit of a teeth grinder there towards the end, but they did clutch it up there with some big plays from the captain. And now going into King's Row, the choice of the Slouchers. Probably back to more Orisa, more Malga stuff, more the brawly look. But it was nice to see dive for once. Who knows, we'll see it again, but you only need one.
And I'm sure we will. And I'm actually really interested to see how the Slouchers do on this map pick here, because in my personal opinion, it's gonna be really hard to find these moments to like have that like just spam. This first sub map is really good for it. Just out in the open. Bookstore is gonna be really nice. End of second is gonna be really nice. Third is gonna be amazing. But how well can the Seadragons kind of just push that tempo
The
and just
Sombra.
keep going to kill?
Okay, no, he's sticking in spawn waiting for a swap. It looks like maybe. Yeah, he's still kind of hanging back there. So still a 4v5 right now. Corey maybe looking for a bit of a great bamboozle here. Maybe swap into Widow the second they get around this little choke here. He's still in spawn. Silvertal's 1 HP. Okay. Okay. Now Corey comes and wins the 5v1. What the hell just happened?
I'm not sure either.
I was thinking like, oh,
as
maybe the
it's-
Widow swap or something. No, you're just saying that. Continue.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, swapping again. What the hell?
at least from the side of the Seadragons, they are trying to play that comp correctly. Just try to really run over them. But these, like I mentioned, these rotates are gonna be very hard, I think. And they are keeping doing it. And
Ooh. Already
will they
does.
find Ambulance?
Already does just barely miss on that nice shot. They're on to Sonic and Ari right there. And Neptune, I'll be real with you, the Seadragons are completely lost.
Yeah.
I don't know what Corey is doing. I'm gonna be 100% real with you.
And we're seeing a massive swap, and I actually love that from them. I really think that is what's going to be able to take this series away from them, just being able to kind of play that dive and angle rather than bulk on commit as a team. Because we're seeing them just counter rotate, get picks left and right, but now you can actually dive and like try to get a more successful hit going.
Bob will be in the cards here for Sky as the fight continues to break out over on point. Melon up on the high ground Fish, just forcing away their teammates. Can't do too much. Big Anthony though will land over on the Orisa and then get this kill. Could be massive here. Fish 1 HP but gets out just in time. And now the healing from Yak is there. The Javelin not gonna find anything but defense makes there from Fish. Melon going up close towards this bomb here, but Ari 1 HP just has to stay alive for just a couple seconds here. Around the side, but AC Zen comes in with the blade and shuts down both supports with the help of Fish. And now Melon as well gonna get out of that mech and we'll get staggered out. And now we're down to a minute and a half here, Neptune. And still, this is looking disastrous so far for the Seadragons. They just don't know what they're doing on this map, I guess.
I think for me, the worst thing is, like, I love the adaptation
Monkey?
that the Seadragons are making. It's just, it's so hard to get back into it on this late on making those decisions. You just have ult advantage left and right, and you're just able to do this over and over again. The only
blink and you miss it. Both sports are dead.
Yeah. The glimmer of hope I'm seeing right now is like they have this nano blade, they have this copy, and that's probably what will confirm this cap in OT alone. But it's still very nerve-wracking, just kind of being at this deficit, and it's going to be on the hands of this nano blade combo to really win out. And they're doing an amazing job at playing this high ground and baiting it out too.
Looking for a bit of pressure here. Sonic just trying to bob and wave through the shots of Sky through this choke. A very scary process. Melon comes in. He's gonna get that nano. So no blade here for the nano for the blade, but the Sky down early. Good start here for the Seadragons. Melon is nanoed and pushed back, but Ari will fall. Can't pop the rally. 1% away from that one. And now with both sports down, it has to be a big blade here for Sunrock. Stuck in a small little room. A free terror surge from Corey as well, and it appear to be just be enough. AC Design will hold the blade for another day, but that took just about everything and a half. It's not done just yet. Your Sky is back on the point. 1v1 Sunrock. The packs are coming back from Ari just in time. Was getting nerve-wracking there, but Fish back on the Rhine. They look to fight this out. Once again, the Anti not gonna find anything either. Fish on the point. But probably not long for the world. Got to touch the point here. Here comes the blip from AC Design, but the boop! As Melon cleans up with the cleave. But you do get rally out at the end of the day if you are a Sloucher for Lexington contest, so not the end of the world. And now the Seadragons are on this very dive comp here on King's Row, which is not usually the way you want to go.
No, it definitely isn't. But considering how unorthodox the Slouchers are playing compared to the Seadragons, like having these switches is gonna be like really impactful. I feel like, and like I mentioned, I think this is the way to go for them to beat them in this series, unless they can find a situation or like some sort of MAGA comp that they like to play into it. This dive look is going to be looking very impressive just to be able to punish any angle that they take.
An early spin forced out of Fisher as well. AC10 antied up and just 1 HP, make that 0 as Melon goes in deep with the help of the Primal Rage. We'll start beating and battering the supports in the backline here at the Slouchers, and the picks are here, and we are seeing finally this dive comp kind of come alive for the Seadragons. They're going to get, it looks like almost point B here almost for free. If Melon can survive here, it'll be huge for their chances. He will do just that. And point B might just be on the cards. Maybe a bot for a touch here from Sky.
Yeah, but it should just kind of get booped off here and then just be able to cap here.
Yeah, Sky's Bob down
Gets melted,
almost
gets
instantly.
phased.
Here, Corey 1 HP will survive. Fish close to reinforcing the Nano comes out just in time. We're on to Melon, melts down that horse, sends it straight to the glue factory. And 2 quick ones here make it a third for Melon. Light the kill feed. And despite how rough point A looked, we now have a 2.5 minute time bank going into C here for the Seadragons. Very doable for them right now.
100%. And even here, it's going to be very similar stuff where you can just have these high grounds, build that nano. If they can't effectively force them out on their comp. So Seadragons should be looking, you know, like very great on this last bit. And it might take them OT unless they get like immense value out of Corey and Sonic here.
Nade not going to find anything there, trying to find AC Design, but the help, the assist is going to be there, and a nice spin from Fish. Forces Sonic, Ronic, and Melon back into the waiting mace of Transflect. And the Inspire was just simply too much there for them to overcome. They will be forced to reset, and a late pick on the Silver Tells will make it probably close to last fight territory here for him now to cap with time.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, it's gonna be like an OT situation for sure from the for the Seadragons. Just kind of having to build these ults. They do have like a pretty good ult, not advantage per se, but like opening ults. Like they have Corey ultimate, then you can look for a combo.
Oh, Silver Tells jab from across the map! Can't build the last little bit here of the Nano Boost. The AC Design does fall pretty weak though, so you can exchange 1 for 1 here. Stonrock has deflect up just in time. 18 health is all they need. Fish will go down, and now Transflect with the Riley on cart, just getting boosted and beaten and battered and bruised. Any single word you want to use for beaten here with Melon. They do get the sleep over on the Bob in the back line. Kind of isolates over on Melon, but just has those boxes to play around. And for now, the Riley Bob not doing too much here for him.
And Corey's gonna open, yeah. Core overclock, just kind of go into this Juno, and it looks like the Slouchers are gonna be able to trade effectively with this right here.
And yeah, the Nano on a Melon, not gonna do anything. You almost gotta want that one back now, because you have the Nano Blade, and there's no support almost for the other side. And now it's up to Sonic to get some value with just the naked blade here. Corey swaps to Symmetra.
Yeah. I mean, at least you have this combo up still, the Rally Blade. That's still as lethal, but it's going to be really hard to get onto the back line with the break, and it's going to be nearly impossible.
Here comes Sonic Ronic with this blade over towards Horseshoe. Does find Transflect. Cannot survive through the pressure of the dive. And it will be just in time for 2 quick kills for the Seadragons. As Sonic continues to hold towards Horseshoe here. Steals Corey's Mega Pack. But Corey forgives it for now. Gets enough healing from Ari and from Silver Towels. It's just the blade online from HT Design for the Slouchers. Looking for, again, an OT cap for the Seadragons, but Melon down first. Exchange out for Transflect, and now Ari with the rally. Sonic at 1 HP. AC Design cannot capitalize on the kill. Now Corey trying to do something here on the point, but Sky has some nice tight lines here on towards the cart. However, the kills are in favor heavily of the Seadragons. 4% from the Bob, 1% for the Bob. Dies right at time. Ari with the timely pick. And a support line for the Seadragons doing just enough here. AC Design swaps back over on Tracer for a test, but it will be a cap in overtime for the Seadragons. And with how bad their point A was, you'll definitely take this.
100%. Thankfully, like, they were able to close it out, but I was very worried them playing that slow, just allowing the Slouchers to get a retouch or like reset up for the end of third there. But just clutch kills, just great stabilizing coming out, and we're just definitely gonna see this live look. Especially, I think we need a DNA test on Melon. Like, are they Korean? I don't know. I think so.
10% Korean, 90% American. They only play Malga, you know, Malga Orisa, but which team did worse there? Chad letting us all know we're all thinking, because honestly that point A was pretty rough, but the point B and C defense just as rougher, I guess, for the side of Slouchers. But I think, you know, looking at Kings Row, the dive a little hard to play on the defense here. And again, if the Slouchers can cap with more than 1 minute in that drawable situation, or the winnable / drawable situation for him, Seadragons had to put up a pretty good defense here in hopes of matching what they just experienced with the side of Slouchers. But I think if Silver Tails and Fish on it, sure, why not? We'll give both of them the worst map of the year award.
And I was gonna say, like, I think just especially going on this dive defense is gonna be really hard for the side of the Slouchers to like even do anything. And I don't know if AC is sticking to this Widow or not. Yeah, he's switching. Yeah, and this is gonna allow them to just kind of be able to just like dive whenever. I kind of don't like how those Seadragons are playing in the back of the map, but picks are still gonna be found.
I mean, what that was is just wait. Sonic was just sitting in hotel waiting for that nade to land, and it hit perfectly on 2 members of the Slouchers from Sovitas from way downtown, and then just dash on through, gonna find that first blow. But Slouchers still continue to fight this one out, even though they are down a member for a couple of minutes here, for a couple seconds. AC Design is still on the high ground here, taking the brunt of Corey's punishment on this high ground in this damage. See, do they get a tick here? They will just step out the cart for just a second here, but the kills are quick here. Sonic will fall. They exchange it out for Fish, so a good 1-for-1 exchange here. But Sky and AC Design with the pincer on the high ground on supports shuts that down. And that might be point A. Melon trying to stay alive with the help of Corey, but lose out on that mech just was not enough. On the phone booth, has to make a call to the funeral parlor as Melon will go down. That will be point A, going the way of Slouchers in a little bit quicker fashion, maybe just a couple seconds compared to what we saw last time.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're the Seadragons, I think you're having like at least any kind of fight win on there, just training some amount of time is gonna be worth it. Just once we get to the cycle of like having this nano, maybe like rally blade, just like winning fights off nano is gonna be really important, and we're gonna be able to see if they can do that or not.
Corey is putting up pretty decent damage there on the high ground, forcing them off that speed ring. They can't use the advantage of that support utility. And then he follows up by shooting 3 rocks directly in the ground. I'm sorry, my man, I was spectating you, but going in here, Melon dives kind of very deeply here. And now AC Design with the blade is antied. And the nano on the Melon will keep them in mech, but with sword towels down, still a very even fight for both sides. Speed ring from Yak for the disengage should they need, but Overwatch is close to coming online. Here comes a spin out from Yak. They're gonna have the bomb on point, but not gonna do anything. They do get the kill over on towards Fish, and Melon is still there on the point with a big body mech with full DM. Just flies right into a slow orb, however, is forced to retreat. And if they can get these kills here, it could be devastating here for the side. Seadragons already trying to run away. Melon there with a great defense matrix will get the Brigitte out. Sonic 1 HP has a dash as just the prime opportunity. And that will be a kind of a slow little fight win here for the Slouchers. Continue to go in. I'd like to speak, but the teams aren't letting me. They're calling right back in here with rallies and orbital raise. Oh my, from both sides. Melon loses out on that mech almost instantly here. And loses out on the baby form as well. Corey is stuck on the low ground, hitting his head against the railing above multiple times and gets taken on down by Sky. And with that being said, Sky cleans it on up. And that will probably be the Slouchers capping over on towards point B. Silvertail's trying to escape with their lives, but will not do so as Sky finds a third. And we're going into point C with a hell of a time bank to defend.
Yeah. This just kind of looks like they're going to keep up that momentum for sure. And Corey is making the surgeon swap, and I'm not sure how to feel like it, because a lot of the Slouchers' problems aren't necessarily like the characters, it's just like how they're doing stuff. Like, it seems like very late nanos, very early brawls, and just not really kind of feeling out what they need to be doing. And as you're seeing, just building this nano, and we're just probably going to give that either a nano blade going or a melon here. And melon just farming that.
Sunronic very weak here, but has the blade, but melon cannot survive. Both tanks taken down by the blade. Very even from both sides here. Sky uses overclock, trying to force Corey away into awkward position. Corey can't quite land the slide on the high ground here. Now stuck in a horseshoe, taken on down. AC Zine just looks him dead in the eyes. But Silver tells with a sniper from the back line, trying to do something here. Sunrod deflect will go for the reset, it appears. And yes, with that being dead, they might get us here. Fish responds with a Malga swap to run back towards his cart. Melon in an awkward position, but has nano boost just in time, close to a primal rage as well, but can't pop it. Sky melts through that nano boost. And now here comes the pressure from the Slouchers pushing on in towards spawn. If they can just survive long enough for Melon to come back with that primal rage, the anti-over on towards Fish, has the cardiac overdrive and gets the healing from the team. Already in tough position here, trying to stay alive, but possibly can. Melon cannot pop the Primal in time. Both supports are now down. AC Sign and Fish on the dive. Melon, 1 HP, has Primal just in time. Pops it. Trying to get someone off the map, but just getting melting down by Smalka. Burning to death. Anyone smell burning fur? Because I sure as hell do. As Melon melts away on the carts. And so are the hopes of winning the map here for the Seadragons. They have to hope for 3 minutes for a draw.
Yeah. And knowing how the Slouchers have been playing, it's going to just... I feel it's going to be just in the hands of them. If they lose this somehow, it's like some massive trollage going on in that camp.
Well, you can't lose it. You can't lose it. You can only draw it. So there's no trollage here. If they draw it, a minuscule amount of trollage.
If they draw, I think mental's out the wazoo. I'm FFing.
Guys, we can only draw. Can we go for an EMP Nanoblade? The classic comp call.
Yeah.
Melon onto the Zarya here for the defense. An interesting look. I would say Fish probably responds with a Malga or a Reinhardt here.
Yeah.
Maybe playing a little bit into Fish's hero pool. I mean, honestly, at this point, throw someone against the wall, see if it sticks. You have 3 minutes.
Yeah, they kind of can do whatever they want. You know, if they want to do their run comp like they did against the Frages earlier or in the playoffs here, they can. If they want to play this dive look, you have a lot of options. And going into that, the dive into the Zarya comp is going to be like the best look too. And it's going to be really hard for them to look like they can brawl. And like they have a lot of brawl components, but like this backline is just, it's really hard to brawl with, actually. Like no speed. Can't really get on to any angle, and Fish is just going back to that risk.
And now,
so like going, yeah.
Will the Slouchers really give them the same amount of courtesy as will AC Zine just stay in and spawn for the first minute and a half, as Corey did on there? Is get a bit of a bounce back for him. We do
Unfortunately, AC is already out of spawn on point.
That's very dishonorable, as the point is still in control right now. Both these teams. I mean, we have a bit of a flank here from Sonic Romp, but gets taken and just sniffed out here. Ori's the one to pay the price for it. Both bubbles are taken out of the fight here as well. Still, a 1-for-1 exchange for both these teams here, but they're so low on the side of the Seadragons. Melon and Sonic both 1 HP. Corey padding the stats there at that one, and he just running away and will give the tick over. And I mean, with how close, Gibraltar was, how back and forth Nepal was, that one was just pure domination from the Slouchers.
Mm-hmm. And what's the series is going to really rely on is just kind of finding these dive maps to play, right? Just kind of going to that dive mirror and just really taking it to them, or just finding out better ways to deal with their risk comps. And me personally, something like I was doing like last season with the Saoris was like really thinking about like, how do I like play against the risk? And I think it is going to be really hard, especially with changes like, for me, I know a comp that might work is like a beam comp to like melt the Rissa and like play front to back. That's gonna be like a lot easier, but definitely will enable AST design to pop off way more, as well as Sky. Like the DPS from the Slouchers are looking lights out today, so going that comp might be a little bit harder, right? But it's really just going to be finding an answer to this risk and this comp and get them off of it. And going to Esper, I like that look. Dive has been able to be played here. I wouldn't even mind like a carry Lucio version of the dive either.
I think you also take Esperanza here because that Escort is kind of, very heavily for dives. So you already got that one out of the pool. So you got to just take them to potentially where you can make it work. You don't want them to have in the option to pick like a new Queen Street per se, because it's just kind of really limits that opportunity for the dive. Or make a Coliseo even. Because if you go Coliseo against AC Design and Sky on DPS, I'm sorry, you're not coming out alive. Like, especially the way Sky is playing right now. Like, AC Design is always the person you look up for his team. But Sky is having a legacy game right now in the Sojourn. Despite the nerfs,
100%.
it seems to have no problems finding the headshots here. I don't think we're going to go into the break. I think both teams are pretty close to being ready here. Because we do have Frosty coming in for the Slouchers, back to that kind of first map look here. And Seadragons putting Tampi back in, looking for a bit of a spark that we saw on Gibraltar. And it's been very interesting because kind of like when you're watching the Seadragons all season, it kind of appears like the Corey maps were the ones they were taking home most of the time. But now Corey really just being shut down very effectively here right now by the entirety of the Slouchers team.
Yeah, and I also do think that has to do so with the map choices as well, right? You're able to play that dive variant, and that works really well against what they're running. And we're probably going to see that tier 2 where out of like the pushes, I think Esper is probably the best on dive. The very first neutral is going to be probably difficult, but once you get past that, just playing that risk into the retake is going to be extremely difficult, right? So, I'm going to stop your hatred for your roommate here. It's not Corey's fault. I think it's just the map choices and where they're deciding to go with that.
I wasn't saying it's his fault. I'm simply consulting the data. He's played 2 maps. They've lost both. I'm simply consulting the data here, Neptune. I'm sort of a stats guy myself, but of course, I mean, going in here on a push, like you said, very... Honestly, the thing with push, though, is both types of gameplay can work. We can see the Slouchers main look of the brawl be effective here as well. So it's not kind of like a for sure dive mirror, and this is exactly what we're seeing. Sticking with the Orisa look, and maybe if Fish is allowed to play the Orisa here like he wasn't on Gibraltar, could make it a little bit more difficult for the dive to find as much effectiveness as it did on Gibraltar here. What do the Seadragons need to do to kind of subvert this just brawly tank that will push you around and just bully Melon's oblivion?
They really got to punish these rotates, take angles on those rotates, almost like the Slouchers were doing them on like the first map, right? And they gotta be really patient and just waiting for these nades to connect, or if one of their DPS has a nice angle and is just outputting a lot, right? Other than that, they can't go really aggressive and just be greedy. That's like the death of them. If they're greedy on this first neutral, this is gonna be set up for the Slouchers here.
Bit of a slow over damage coming through here for the Slovenian Slouchers, and Sky puts it back on towards the DPS, but we do have an early picker on AC Design, so a good start right now for the Seadragons. They do exchange out for Auri, but that's not going to be nearly enough here. Tampi on this off angle, putting the pressure in on this back line, and that will be the follow-through they need. Again, play that very slowly. Didn't really allow themselves to get caught out of position, so a good play from Seadragons, good adjustment so far from them, as Tampi comes in once again huge with an opening pick.
Yeah, and right back where I said it, like, now you're just going to be able to set up on these high grounds, really just stuff them in these chokes, look for nades, and it's going to be so difficult for the Slouchers to get a nice retake into them.
AC Design as well swapping over on the Echo, trying to match Tampi here, but it's taking a lot of poke before the fight really even breaks out here. So Seadragons once again playing this almost perfectly right now, just using their high ground control to try to force off. A double anti-nade will land on support of Melon. Sadly was not there to follow up, had to back off for just a second here, but here comes a retake on the high ground. Foster down first, however. So a very kind of scrappy fight up here as a support for support is done, but now Fish has the space here to push them back in this small room. HT Design with the nades, trying to force them back. The cart is in favor right now of the Slouchers, as we'll get some percentage, but Fish goes a little too aggressively there and goes on that Orisa, so we're going to have probably a quick recontest here from Seadragons.
And yeah, we will, and it looks like this Tanic and AC gets full pocket. And just kind of building this Nano is going to be really the opening, and they should be able to have a nice ult advantage going into this fight, and hopefully they can find some value here with it.
Losing out on that bubble early here, Melon has to play a bit slow for now. They don't want to feed over to this DPS line, but again, close to this Primal Rage. dives on in, has the bubble to retake this high ground, but the entirety of the Slouchers looks the way of the Winston, knowing they didn't have the nano death time. But again, another big two-man anti will land from Silvertals, but just the timing is just seemingly a bit off so far on this map on that nade follow-up. Tanpy does have the Brigadier here in the back line here with AST with the Winston as well. So many ults being popped right now, but the Slovenian Slouchers are being sent back to spawn here as a very good look right now from the Seadragons. Silvertals getting boosted and battered around from the duplicate, but it is just a 2v2 on the cart here. Tanpy 1 HP will get out just in time. No progress rate bait for both these teams here, and Fish swaps off that Arista on the Winston, so you see a bit of a dive mirror here on Esperanza.
And once you start like making the enemy team make those swaps and really questioning their gameplay, that's when you're going to be starting to win these series a lot more cleaner.
Fish takes a decent amount of damage here for that fight where he brings in Sonrog, barely dodging out that shot from Sky. Gets the healing from Ori just in time, but Melon with the Primal Rage will isolate over onto Yak. A good start here for the City Seadragons. Melon expertly dodging around, keeping that sliver of HP just mended enough. They will get that opening pick here as well. Big advantage right now for the Seadragons trying to get to that first checkpoint. And now Sonronic using that overclock on the high ground melts down the Fish Winston, and that will be checkpoint here gained for the Seadragons. Once again, looking a lot cleaner here on the dive.
And I think the best thing about this is, like, despite these trades happening, this backline being set up on this high ground is going to be so difficult and so annoying to clear out. Just being able to nade these rotates, and like Frosty and Yak can't really do much with their ults to get up onto high ground, and it's going to be really impossible. Luckily, they're really progressing this card forward here, though.
A lot of damage on the support line, but the healing is there for themselves. Duplicate from AC's over on the Ana. One nade already has 80% to a nano boost, but can't land the shot. The finishing blows over on the remaining members as they've lost Frosty. In the meanwhile, during this nano melon, and despite the early advance there with the picks, they are going to bring this back. The Seadragons, again, this dive, this support line on the dive is so clean. Ori and Silvertals, they do love Silvertals, but Yak just staggering himself back here.
And Yak has to poorly just slowly go to cart.
The slow float over there was not enough, but...
And no flame to Yak, but when's this Juno ult coming out? Right?
Overwatch 3.
But when there's 4 characters, but back when it's 6v6.
This isn't Marvel Rivals, they also carry over. You do have the... Go ahead.
As much as I say that, you know, like, he does need to just find value for it, but as we were saying, it's going to be extremely difficult. Yak almost got to, like, go for it. And yeah, as you see, it just pops out. It is being able to melt this melon here soon.
Tanpy is going to lose out as well over on the duplicate. Lost that very quickly here. Fish is trying to dodge around. There's so many members of the Seadragons there to look at this Winston. Gets out with 54 HP. Just barely enough. Another big anti as well. Silvertals has been landing these antis all day so far, and has been a huge reason why their team is still, you know, in the series, making it very back and forth. However, Tanpy can't quite get in that door. Was just not enough. Fish antied again. Has to retreat. Melon comes back with the Primal Rage. Very scrappy back and forth for both these teams here as Anas are finally down. And this is just 1-for-1. This is your comp game right now. Here comes AC Zion with a duplicate Winston. Force back Sonronic, and now if Melon falls here, that could be big because this will be checkpoint. And it's basically one fight territory now, and they're going to have a big nano and overclock advantage.
I'm sure they'll also get lead here too. Sky, Frosty, this like nano seed coming out. Same thing with the Seadragons, but the side of the Slouchers has got to decide where they want to fight, and they're going to be trying to probably play for this high ground as we're seeing in the third-person camera.
Yeah, Sky up very high right now, looking for an overclock angle, but Fish is just simply too powerful, not letting the Seadragons through this choke by himself with the Tesla cannon. Melon will open things up here with a nice nano though on the back line, antied up. Both Winstons exchange these nanos on the dive here. Already falling very low, 1-for-1 on the supports. Still very back and forth affair for both these teams. A slight advantage right now for the Slovenian Slouchers, but the cart was stolen in the meantime here by Melon, trying to run it back, trying to get anything else for the team. But if they take down Melon here, it doesn't look like they will do just that, but that probably will be advantage here in terms of the meterage. Melon will try to get back here for the contest. We'll do it just in time, but Melon falling very low might get punished for this. Bit of aggressive play here, and 1 HP, but they lose Melon. Stay a little too long here, and Tanpy with the duplicate trying to bring it back here for the team with another tank on the field, but with Ari down here as well, the Slouchers are pushing him in. Fish has the Primal Rage as well. Too much health, too much pressure here for Seadragons to survive. And they got checkpoint, they got progress, they have the advantage right now. And with 2 minutes left in the time bank, this could be a disastrous bit of a fumble here on Esperanza from the Seadragons.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that feeling of trying, like, nearly losing lead and just committing everything to it. But what you need to realize is, like, at the end of the day, like, that lead right there isn't what's going to determine this game. It's your ult economy and ult value.
Oh, the orbital raid. Right Melon can't build a Primal Rage in time. Yeah. Tampy trying to melt down the support line, was so close fighting. Yeah, but HT's responds to the beam of his own. Ari 1 HP in the rally, cannot do it. And this is looking really, really bad now because that's your rally gun. You'll have Primal, but you're walking into duplicate, into a nano of the Sajra zone. And they can just hold these. They have a big 50-meter advantage right now on push. Oh, it feels almost insurmountable the way they're playing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like I mentioned, just like really forcing those ults to for the touch is going to be really setting them back. And right now, like any trade, any ult that comes out on the side of the Seadragons, ooh, they're popping so much ults, but they're killing.
They are killing. They force Primal Rage out as well here from Melon. I mean, they are probably going to win this fight here with Spawn and Band is looking good for them, but all they're doing is just draining out any ultimates that the Seadragons had here, and still a 50-meter advantage, or even at this point, a near 70-meter advantage for them. I can probably do some quick math here, but they will have the Nav search up for Frosty with their spawns, and now Fish a big primal advantage here for last fight territory.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have like a lot of even, or like up 2 ults here from the side of the Seadragons, so that should win out, as long as they're not messing up like their neutral here.
They use the nano here early. Going to be exchange for both these teams. But a big advantage so far for the Seadragons. But Tampy, so it's a 2 for 2 right now on the point. Fish has a Primal Rage. Do they decide to invest this one? They do. Pop it right on this bridge. Iso on his Brigitte. Ari falling very low. Ari 1 HP taken on down. If Fish might try to back up here and like stay alive, right? Because if they can come back, find a huge pick again. Fish actually, we might need a blood check on this man. A blood examination. Is he Korean? He gets alive just in time for Sotal or for Frost to come back to heal him out. Melon falling so low. Tampy with duplicate here. Only one on the cart. Sunrun trying to get back as quickly as possible can with the blade, but Tampy falling so low in this duplicate. Loses it out very quickly here. And now the bubble stopping the healing for coming through. Doesn't stop that nade though from Sotal. Trying to run back. Sunrun with the blade. They use the dash to reset, but cannot get there in time. And the Slouchers are now 1 map away from taking this series and taking the grand finals.
Yeah, this is going to be such an amazing series to see if the Seadragons can really just, like, kind of make that comeback. It feels like a lot of these moments that we're seeing is just, like, Seadragons having a pretty good answer. I kind of agree with that, Sonic, on God. But, regardless, just a lot of the Slouchers are just answering every like, distraction coming their way.
And yeah, I mean, with that being said, we didn't give ourselves a break last time, so we go ahead and do that here, going into potentially what could be our final map. Match point now. The Seadragons completely on the back foot. Some that have not experienced this entire playoffs. Do they have it in them to bounce back in the series? We'll have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Overwatch Clash will continue after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Season 6 Grand Finals, the BOON1E Bowl between Slovenian Slouchers and the Sydney Seadragons. Slouchers now at match point here, 3-1. And the way they've been playing here, Neptune, you gotta think, it's looking really good for them, especially going into Saravasa, a very kind of brawl-heavy map. And we've seen in this brawl mirror, kind of take the Seadragons to town so far, but Seadragons, of course, on their last breath, just trying to bring it back here, bring it to a 3-2, and just start that boulder going down the hill.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it, but in my personal opinion, I feel the opposite way. I feel like if you're going to a Flashpoint map, I feel like you take Hollow, or not Hollow, sorry, New Junk City, right? Just having those more close quarters.
This is a little more open
This
for
first
Sky.
neutral,
Sky
yeah,
crazy.
this is really worrisome here.
Yak asking for a hashtag firecard for Edmund in chat. Hopefully everybody will follow through on that one. The different look here is the Tracer and the Reaper for DPS to pop with this Mauga. No Genji, kind of the thing we've seen all day on Sojourn. A very new look here for the side. Melon falling extremely low first, but Frosty does fall. So a good look here right now for the Slouchers to begin. Or for the Seadragons, but Melon down with a deflect. Fish 1 HP, however, in the follow-up will be there for the Seadragons, and they will take this first fight, this first neutral. And you gotta wonder why the Slouchers kind of took such a close range there, not really opting for kind of the double look to the choke on the right side.
I think it's kind of funny because it's like that is like the most standard one, and it's really about reading your opponent to go which direction. Because honestly, like that is the better part of the map for the spam, but you know, the Seadragons knowing that, just take that side too, and just take that brawl. And something that we didn't mention is like the double speed too, to be able to stick onto these targets. But this brawl does not look to be favorsome for them.
Yeah, the double speed rang into their death for sure. They died a lot faster than they usually would. But yeah, Ari's getting caught out there. Very unfortunate there for the side of the Seadragons. Point will flip here, 50%. DPS almost here, ready to go almost for the side of Seadragons. There's a little bit of a prolonged fight here. We'll be able to do just that. And I know I saw this in scrims last night, this kind of double speed look from the side of Seadragons with this Mauga. It's going at me. Melon is going in here. No real help, no follow-up there. His team just wasn't there in time, and now Ari falling slow with Frosty. Will be exchanged here. Ari clean that kill up on the Lucio here, but both supports now taken down, and Melon not too long after will do just that. As the advantage on the point will come for the Slouchers now. Corey getting a bit staggered out here. They'll probably get one more fight in, but look at Ultimate Bank for both these teams. It's going to be a huge Q-fest.
Yeah, it will be, but honestly, just after each fight, it feels like the lethal shooter, that's the name, right? Just they understand it after each fight. Just being able to play this range, and I'm sure we're just going to see like a Sky ult from high ground. All the ults are going to be clutch here soon.
A blade in the backline, doesn't find anything. Already got the moves, breaking the ankles of HT Design. A great look for support here, trying to bring it back here for the side. The Seadragons, they will get the point flip. And yeah, that blade not finding too much here. Sky will exchange. If they can just survive, they have an advantage going in here. Already going back for a bit of a taxi look. They has to retreat back. Hit the 180, come back to the point. Corey has Death Blossom here for the next engagement. Should he opt into it? No Wraith ready to go. The beat is a 3-man from Ari. Will keep the team nice and healthy through the help of the Overwatch Race. Sochild's 1 HP, but does survive just long enough to get that passive regen up perfectly played for the support. And now here comes Death Blossom. Here comes Cage. It's a huge one here. Binding 2 Fish, 1 HP. Make that 0. And despite the heroic efforts of the Slouchers, we will have point A going the way of the Seadragons.
And depending on which sub map this goes to, where is it seems like left out in the open, this should be able to like be a moment for the Slouchers to retake pretty well. Will they though? You know, just kind of like you mentioned, like the swap from Corey and Sonic and Ari is just gonna be really incredible. Or their comp to really just try to get onto the backline a lot quicker, or just like stay in longer too.
Here comes the run and the speed ring out here from Melon in the backline, but Frosty there with the rally. We'll save them out for a couple seconds here. Melon just melted into this backline here. Corey trying to TP far, far away. And that will be our first flip going the way of the Slouchers. As he did get rally out, but It's probably not the best exchange.
Yeah, you'd rather just have that one fight right there. Just kind of waiting for like Sonic or something. Something they need to be doing is like having like pinches like set up more. As well as like just playing a little bit slower to bait them in to their line of sight. I feel like they've been just really trying to spearhead and go in, and as you're seeing now, it's just kind of like in and out, in and out. It seems like really just unsync, and they're not really working the map together.
Yeah,
And Sonic's getting ready here, yeah.
Bit off angle, but Fish just pushes in off the back of that one, knowing the Tracer is nowhere to be found, and now spotted by Sky. The Pulse Bomb not gonna land here. The blade out from AC Design along with the spin. They're gonna get the kills here. And so does Overtell's Ajax over Ray as well? It didn't come out. That could be not good. As Corey is in the backline here. If they know where the Reaper is, it appears Sky has a bit of an idea of where this Reaper could be going. And yeah, it appears we did get the Rajax there. Corey trying to be spooky man right back towards the point. But yeah, not long for this world. There will not be a touch, and we are tied at 1-1 on Surabasa.
It seems like we are going to be going to the fountain. It seems like they're heading towards. No, I am just wrong. It's probably the orange building, right?
Ruin? Something like that?
Whatever that one is. Something. I'll call it ruins. I agree with it. It looks like ruins, right? So
the
we're
building.
going to the orange section. I love calling them by their colors, to be honest.
We need the CS:GO comms. Yeah, they're building long. They're coming in here. Corey with that Blossom here, looking to put some pressure early on the rotate, but will retreat back to the team. Already taking a bit of damage here early, but will sustain with the help of Super Talis here. Already still playing life and death here as AC is trying to trace him down. But instead, Already's the one to find an opening kill. Melon, there's no one around the Mauga. And what the Seadragons did so well this entire season was just overall team play, and we just have not seen that at all today, especially on this Mauga look, but they are winning the fight here, getting the kills. A well-timed beat by Ari will sustain the team through all that pressure. Down your Mauga early, not the end of the world when you got a big beat up your pocket there from Ari, and the point will flip for Seadragons. I spoke too soon.
Yeah. I mean, as you're mentioning, like, the team play is, like, having them to like force even more ults out, right? Like instead of just being in sync with that Blossom, like already has to add their ult. At least like Malin has their ult here soon, but they might win it off of this alone, their own ults here.
Both support ultimates come on down on top of the cage, and my god. Bottom 3 tank, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen a Malga explode that fast. Point will flip here, but you did get both support ultimates here, and Cappers?
Oh,
Cappers? Okay, there we go. Not too bad of a fight there for Seadragons getting out that both ultimates, and now you can kind of re-guess with your own DPS coming up. But
yeah, it's gonna be really nerve-wracking because the Slouchers are just gonna really contest these rotates, be able to just kind of give up the point. If anyone dies here, it seems like we're just taking fights really early in this.
Silver Towel is so weak here. He's on trying to hunt down this Juno, but not gonna be well. Not the Cardiac Overdrive is just in time from Melon to get that Juno back in the fray, but Rock in the meantime meets a Javelin right to the face. The isolation as well onto Corey off on the side. Here comes a slide over to Ray, slam from Melon, but Melon's so weak here. The deflect on the Genji, the spin as well, just putting in that extra bit of damage, but Fish will get taken down. Now Corey finally follows things up with this Death Blossom. Still big trades here for the Seadragons. Big advantage for him right now on point. Melon runs on in and gets that slam kill. They do lose on the Melon, and now with 70%, there's probably one more fight here if they can survive. But with Yak or with Sky getting staggered, that might just be this point of Gardens. Oh, okay. I keep speaking too soon. I apologize for both these teams. I didn't know. I wasn't familiar with their game. The Pulse, I'm not gonna find anything there from Seadragons. Corey TPing away. Sky coming back here with the overclock if they can survive long, but already 5% towards this beat could be a game changer. Ready to drop this one down. Corey finding critical, but here comes a big beat right on top of that charge at the back line. This Mauga nigh unstoppable now. Over to Ray comes out from Yak to sustain through all this pressure. Already finding a Ray to the face. And with the overclock over to Ray, just simply too much pressure for Corey and Melon to survive. 88% the point will flip for the Slovenian Slouchers. Ari is in your back line. You hear the voices finally coming back here. With a bit of pressure overtime for both these sides. Silvertail is down. It's just Ari for the healing and gets melted down by Fish. And now the Slouchers can taste they're 1 point away from the championship. We are so close. The Seadragons trying their best here. Every fight so close.
Yeah, and all Frosty has to really do is just kind of play for this rally brawl or to absorb, and it's gonna make their life so much difficult. I think this is just gonna end right here, considering like how well this Frosty ult comes out, and not to mention Fish and ASC almost have their ultimates here too.
Yeah, we've seen that combo quite a bit. The pull blade just kind of stuck them in one spot for a little couple seconds, get AC design those dash resets, and Frosty playing really in the clump here. I don't know if we want to do that with the Malga ready to go, but it appears the Slouchers are just simply fighting them off with Aura so far. They do force out that dash, and yeah, finally ice over on towards Frosty, but they've lost 2 in the process on this dive, and now the kills are here. The Terror Surge will clean them on up. It's just Melon on the point. Corey trying to clutch things up, but Sky puts an end to it. The only survivor on point. Corey tried, was so close for the comeback king, but now you still hold on this rally, on this blade. Like you said, it's going to be very close to both these teams. They do get the reinforcement here early for Seadragons, so we'll get a flip back.
And we also just do have an ult advantage coming from the Seadragons here, just with that like cage, and it's gonna be really up to like Frosty and ASC to be able to find that value with their ultimates.
Yeah, here comes the help of the blade from AC Design in the backline here. The pulse one finding nothing in the cage, but just a lot of damage. AC Design comes in for the assist, and they don't get any of those kills. They're all so weak, but there's no fault. The only one they needed was AC Design on point with the blade. Unsheathed and finding 4. And once again, the point flips, and that was just about everything in your bank. You're going to have Orbit Array, but walking into Sky Overclock, a very scary sentence, especially today.
Yeah, and considering just how can they path for Silvertall's ult, hopefully they're just going to amp this rotate and just force point here, but this rotate's already been a nightmare.
Corey tried diving up on the high ground over on towards Sky, but here comes the Orbit Ray on this high ground. Looking for some out. Frosty first to fall. A good start so far for the Seadragons, trying to bring on back here. Taking down 2. We will probably get this flip ready to go. The Seadragons expertly dodging out that overclock here. Corey just enough pressure on towards the Sojourn to force him away. And now a bit of a reset called for the Slouchers. They're going to come back in with their Orbit Array, but Ari will be able to match with Beat.
Yeah, it's just really going to come down to like the support ult diff, see how well each Ari or Yak can use their ult here. And as of recently, you know, Juno's just been the best support ult in the game, so that's really scary. Just kind of if you're Ari here.
The beats have been well timed here by Ari those entire map, so trying to get one more for a team to stave off potentially the series being over. Ray comes out, Beat as well, finds on all 5 members, so a lot of players extremely healthy here. Melon is critical, but does get out with the overrun just in time. And then just C9! There's C9! It's a huge play from the Seadragons and Slouchers, kicking themselves for that one. Melon with just the aura, keeping them back. And we're going to 0.5 of Servasa. Corey 1 HP will get taken down. Melon trying to come back here with the assist for the teammate. But yeah, even if you win this fight here for the Slouchers, you lost the point. Seadragons got what they came for.
And they got what they wanted, right? Just this last sub map here. And honestly, like just kind of looking at the ultimates, just technically, you know, the Slouchers do have the advantage, kind of going in, just being able to use their ultimates right away. Sonic has to have to be the hero here, but you get this first cap here regardless, and are able to set up however you want to into their comp.
A bit of a free cap there for Corey, TPing in from the spawn room. We'll get that nice and toasty. An early Wraith form is forced, however, out of the Reaper. So can't go too aggressive for AT Design with the blade, looking down Silver Tall, but the Corey is there for the assist. It's still going to be a 1-for-1. Sky in the background trying to find Ori. Will do just that, the spin to finalize that blow. Corey up on the high ground, gets booped away, gets jabbed out of the Death Blossom. And now Melon just gets spun into a corner. They took his lunch money, shoved him into a locker. But you did get a free 45% or so for the Seadragons. It's not over just yet. You're going to have Orbit Array and Cage.
Yeah, no, this Cage should just be a fight win from the Seadragons. Just being able to just go really fast with Cage, really be able to use Silvertall's ult if they need. But they desperately need to hold on to that Juno ult here. Right now, they should just int it down. They're clearing out high grounds, going on Sky. And this should just be hopefully like a solo Cage here soon.
Yeah, looking for it right over on towards the horse. And with AC Design dead as well, not much Fish can really do there. So now Saj is running back towards the point. We'll just give their bodies for the cause. And There it is, fired like a volcano. We haven't heard all night, but finally we get it. The point is still in favor of Sadra, by the way. Okay, they finally get the flip. Now 60%. I would say last fight territory for both sides right now.
Yeah, and honestly, like, Seadragons are really healthy in terms of their ult economy. The only thing that the Slouchers have going for them is just how well their neutral has been, especially with, like, Sky. And Sky has their ultimate, Yak has their ult, but so does, you know, like, the Seadragons, and they tend to go fast here, and that's the correct play, in my opinion.
Yeah, very quick play, finding Sky, taking that out of the equation, and that
these beats are the purest, those are
And welcome back, everybody, to Overwatch Clash Season 6 BOON1E Bowl, our grand finals between Slovenian Slouchers and the Sydney Seadragons. Sydney Seadragons trying to bring it back here. Yes, sorry, Willfish, the graphics aren't really made for best of sevens because they are preset, but we are at a 3-2 scoreline. Going into Throne of Anubis over on the Clash for our 6th map here. And a bit of a bounce back there after that C9 there from Slouchers for Seadragons, and potentially a big momentum shifter going in for the rest of the series. It could be a bit of an issue. And yeah, where were you when Grand Finals went to Clash? Well, I was right here.
Ari's throwing in their Anubis right now. You know, it's a very late night, especially for any EST Coast gamers right now too.
I don't think we have any EST gamers in the lobby, but I could be wrong. I think Ari might actually be Mountain Time, so we might actually have an advantage here for the side of the Seadragons. And again, this Malga versus Arisala coming out here for both these teams. Corey, the Reaper adaptation sticking true here. Silver Tile's down first though. Good quick exchange here for Sunrock in the back, and then Genji's getting active here. As Sonic got in the back fighting two quick ones, and now we do have Yak just trying to retreat back to the team, and that will be first point going the way of the Seadragon, continuing the momentum from Servasa.
Yeah, and right now I think the Seadragon is actually finding like a beautiful comp to find out like for those trades, and just especially like going from Ari to like the Lucio is just helping tremendously, right?
Went for a bit of a late contest there, but Corey cleans up the kill on the enemy Genji. Melon falling low, but gets healed right back up by Silver Towels and Ari, keeping the Malga alive here. Corey is shooting air. Please help. Please send help. Okay, does eventually get his, finding both supports in the back. And yeah, Fish will eventually get melted and sent back. And a valiant effort, but not anything bearing from that one, except for maybe a stagger on the AT Design forced retreat. And point B set up ready for Seadragons.
And I realistically, like, since the Seadragons have to force point and are setting up for it, the Slouchers do have an advantage, just being able to play this long distance and really spam it out. But knowing what we've been seeing, like, I feel like someone's gonna mess it up here.
AC Design is pelting some damage in with those right clicks. Here comes the charge in from Melon in the back line. As Corey trying to find AC Design again down early. Is it down that Genji? The Seadragons have found a way to shut down this DPS as Ari fighting two on the Lucio. Might just be point B going the way of the Seadragons, and a great look from them so far on this map.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, just kind of like we're seeing, just really hard to contain their brawl, especially when they're able to go a lot faster now thanks to Ari swap. And we'll see if they get the cap here, which they shouldn't realistically. You know, this is a moment where you just kind of bait out ults. Maybe you ult if you think it's winnable. And honestly, like, that's the type of player I am. I'm going to try to win this. Let's see what we can get out of them. And just nice flank from Melon, just kind of watching everyone like a hawk here in this corner.
we see him down there. He's getting pinged out so that they know where the Malga is, but not much you can really do about that. The TPM from Corey here, forced out to use the early Wraith form. Cage in the back line here on top of the rallying. A lot of ults being used for both teams, but so far, big advantage for Seadragons. As Sky, only one on cart, only one on point, and we might be seeing a cap of at least a tick or two from the Seadragons here on Clash. A 3-0 scoreline so far for them, looking so dominant. They seem to have woke up after that last point of Suravasa. And I mean, you only might get one tick out of this, but if you're on Clash, that's always great for an attacking side.
Yeah, you're happy for one tick for sure. 2 would have just been like almost sealing the deal, right? But even then, just like getting a tick for that many ult trades, like, and still having great economy going forward, you take that any day of the week.
Yeah, walking up here now. Sky on a bit of an off angle, having this overclock ready to pop. The Seadragons privy to that one, going back, hide around these corners, not opting to take the fight early here for the point really begins to break open. Corey had a TP. Wade did take some damage from AC Design, but gets out with the help from the team, but already down early. Silvertal does have the overray there for supplement that healing, both supports gone. That will be a point B capture here for the Slouchers. Melon trying to run and get some extra picks for the road. Build towards that next cage, but you used Blade, you used Orbital Ray, and just exchange for Orbital Ray from Yak. Not good. Look at the support. Look for the ultimates coming up here for Slouchers.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't look too bad considering you have like up 2 ults and just able to play with whatever DPS kind of, you know, ultimate you want. You can just play for the Sky Rail, or you can just look to brawl with ASC here. And honestly, you're just probably gonna opt to like just play really slow with Sky, and then ASC will find his time. You know, that's something you can find and trust with him.
Comes the Orbital Ray out early. Ari does get hit by that, but the self-heal boost was just barely not enough. And that will be a quick one. Just an Orbital Ray for a overclock here for a fight victory, it appears. We're calling out the DPS for the Slouchers, and they deliver with 4 kills between the two of them. And now a Blade still online for AC Design, and nothing in response for the Seadragons, and we are tied 3-3. The tick advantage is already gone, and we're back to square one.
Mm-hmm. And it goes back to just thinking about this ult economy. We got like kind of 3 ults here to like 3 ults. So it's pretty much even fight, but Fish and ASC get this combo online pretty early. And it's going to be up to Corey to find that answer with this Blossom here and get some value going.
Slow orb early there onto the back line. Does force out a bit of a cooldown exchange, but AC not privy to exchange over into that one too quickly here. Point advantage right now for the Slouchers, but high ground in heavy control of the Seadragons. Look at drop on in when they see their advantage. Melon close to this cage, but AC Design sees the Blade opportunity potentially here on the back line, but the beat is perfectly timed. And now here comes the cage to follow that one up. The slam on in on the Silver Towels, but the Death Blossom and Corey will seal the deal for the Seadragons and get themselves to a 4th point. The exchange there on the side on that mini pack, but we're going back to the middle here. 4-3 scoreline for the Seadragons.
And it's funny, as we talked about just like that previous fight on first, you know, the Slouchers were really relying on their DPS. Now it's time to rely on their supports to see how well they can use their ults. Whether, like, realistically, they only need 1 ultimate, and honestly, if they commit both, that's gonna be a really, really big throw from them.
We'll see how this side plays when Corey jumps in the back line here. They do spot that Reaper up, force that Wraith pretty early. AC Design ready for the Raptors to come on down on that Reaper, but just enough healing to keep Corey alive. The rally, and there it is, they used both. They've got, I mean, Melon dies, but that's a huge turn of events right now. The Seadragons have done just enough here. They're gonna run away with their lives and not feed any more ult charge. And a great look from them going in his 5th and final point for both teams. Now Silvertail's down, but I don't think it's going to be nearly enough here, as the point hasn't quite flipped just yet. Already trying to run around and stay alive. We'll get back to the spawn room, but it's going to end all here on point D.
Considering Ari doesn't have this beat yet,
The Blaze.
there's still a chance that they can go crazy, and Corey might get caught out here very shortly.
Yeah, had to Wraith very early there. Taya dashing for trying to find some resets, but none to be found here. So many low members from both these teams. 1-for-1 exchange on both sides. Sky with the overclock. Try to put some pressure on the Sword House. 1 HP, make that 1 HP. Just barely dodging around that. Ari 1 HP as well. Both supports down from Sky. It's just Melon on the cart. Melon with the Malga. So healthy on this point. Trying to run back to the team. Sky trying to chase him on down. Melon 1 HP. Melon still 1. Has a cardiac overdrive just in time. But do they have a touch here? Melon trying to run back towards the spawn. Get the healing on up. They will have another touch here with the beat from Ari. But it's going to be very, very desperate for both these teams. Fish having this ultimate ready to come back in here, but nowhere near the team for the fight to really break out here. Corey closes up. Blossom coming going to map 7 here. Corey has to race very early. Still very back and forth here, looking for the slam on in. Corey dives on in with the help of the backline. Ari 1 HP. Ari, the self-heal boost is huge here. Melon trying to dodge on in here. The deflect for both these teams. Melon flying so weak, but the reload is not in time from Fish as Melon is there in the cage. The kills are here for the Seadragons, and we're going all the way to map 7.
Holy spaghetti, bro. Holy. And they are trying to touch here. They still get a touch from Fish. Maybe.
Okay, they do.
But
I'm not gonna get too up till I see something pretty big here. It's
yeah. Nah, it's over. It's
rough.
over. It's over. It's over. Don't worry, it's over.
And there we go.
There we go.
Map 7 it is. It was written in the stars, it appears. Both these teams, of course, very high, but now Seadragons showing off that mental fortitude, bringing it back all the way here. Setting us up to a sudden death situation. The Slouchers had the advantage of picking, I believe, any map now they want in the pool. Which, I mean, do you go somewhere like a Circuit Royale and play the HD Design Widow game, or do you stick with this Brawl? Look, this is a big decision here now for the Slouchers moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, if I were them, like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Midtown's not. Yeah, that's probably what we would go to.
Havana.
Bro, I wanted to be Koth too, low-key, Corey. Low-key, Corey, I wanted to be Koth too, hopefully. I'm praying. I'm praying it's Koth.
The game mode does have to be Koth.
Oh, it does?
I was under the assumption that it was any map you wanted, but I was mistaken. So yes, now it is an unpit control map here for the Slouchers.
You're going to Samoa if you are Slouchers, in my opinion. I think that's a really good risk map. That's going to be like playing to their strengths. But it goes into Seadragons. Like, I think that double speed is going to be able to like cut off the sightlines for that comp. So like, I think it's called Volcano. The Volcano one, like that would be like really good for the risks. But I feel like that's Seadragons like has that like edge with that double speed now if they go that map. For that sub map at least. Every other map is still like same of like having that really good risk angles. Any other maps? AP might be a decent one.
I know the Slouchers have gone to AP quite often so far this season. I don't know if that's going to be their choice of map, but I thought they'd have that a little more quicker. But with that being said, we'll go to a quick break then. In the meantime, map 7 Giga Banger continues. After the short one, I got to get the perfect song for this one, of course, going all the way, the complete distance. And we'll see you guys inside.
Song's a good one too.
And welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen, to the BOON1E Bowl for Overwatch Clash Season 6. We finally done it. The finals of our dreams. A full 7-mapper for us here to decide our champion. And it will all be decided here on the final map of Busan. And you're talking the break, Neptune. You like this map choice. And what was on your mind when you made that statement?
A lot of it is just like to do with like, especially like the sub map. You're gonna see like that Widow. You're gonna see that Ristel come out of them, or just like Genji. The risks on these maps are just like great no matter what. The only one that I'm like really is like so about is Mecha base, but even then the risk is like still very strong there. And as we're seeing like the Seadragons, like kind of like my recommendation on that Esperanza, where we can have that Kiri Lucio kind of go at it, and it seems like Ari's really just wants to stick to this Lucio, and I think they're correct. I think this matchup right here is actually going to be very good for the both of these teams.
Yeah, both these teams trying to lay it all on the line here. Map 7 of the grand finals. This is the mental fortitude needed to sustain the high-octane gameplay we've seen the entire series and bring it all the way here in a final explosive conclusion. Now, going here in the dive, here's Ready by AC Design trying to meet these kind of returns here. The new Isolate Sky has a slide ready to go, but I mean, both these teams are just playing very slow right now. And early Susan is fourth, but AC Design falls first. Soundwrong asserting the Genji differential over on the AST, and now it just did reset on the point, but so many low members for the Slouchers on this point. And this will be Seadragons once again continuing this absurd momentum swing from Saravasa and taking our first cap on Busan.
And honestly, I hate to say this, but if AST goes to a different character, kind of like more like a Brawly, I think it just kills their comp, right? But AST isn't looking so flashy on this character, right? So I don't think that's gonna happen, right? We're just gonna keep kind of forcing this look and really trying to like how well we can do it. I like their approach, kind of forcing this point, trying to gain them out in the open. Or he gets picked.
Corey does get just absolutely obliterated there. Had 150 HP, then had 0. And AST Design looking flashy there in the kill feed, finding 1. Sky slides away and gets the packs from Frosty. The point is still in favor right now of the Seadragons. Get a couple extra percentage marks on this one, but it will finally flip Pierce, the captain, the ever-present, just trying to get as much as possible can for the team, but a pretty clean fight victory there. No ult needed for that flip.
I'll buy my words. I'll buy my words there. You know, just AST can do AST. You know, stick on that Genji and just start pounding still. This Blade Rally is gonna be like really nice to counter like Silvertel's ults probably, but Melon's gonna be getting their ult here mid fight too, and that's gonna be really impactful to kind of counteract any ultimate that the Slouchers make here.
Looking to put some pressure, maybe try to force a Suzu before the blade comes online. Here comes out that Kusune rush, but here comes the blade, finding Silvertails early. Corey trying to dash run, has the recall just in time to get away from that blade's sheath. But yeah, with Melon down, that will probably be the fight going the way, once again, of the Slouchers. They will take advantage on the percentage, on the points. But a pretty cheap fight lost there as well for Seadragons, only investing Kusune rush.
Yeah, I mean, and it goes flip side too. Like, ASC is the only one that to invest their ults, you know, and you just kind of go second with your comp here, just kind of waiting for them to dive, use like Frosty or Yak ult, probably Yak ult when they dive, and then just like continue with Frosty. But Corey finds an amazing stick onto Frosty.
A fantastic pulse bomb there will stop that Raz from coming on through the orbital ray on point, just allowing Fish to go so aggressive. Beer with the slam on the Terra Surge, finding 2. That's a huge one. With Millen going down, it's just Corey versus AC Design. Sadly, I don't favor my roommate in that 1v1. As despite the early pick on a Frosty, they still have the rally for last fight as Fish comes up huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really scrambled touch 4 point. And like we're seeing, like we just have all these angles around point, Fish anchoring, and just being able to really just force his primal and then just live.
Here comes the blade after Sanronic, finds Sky. Sky trying to slide away, get the kill, will not do so as Sanronic opens things up. But Genji is 1 for 1. In fact, AC Design comes out on top with 2. Frosty cannot survive through the help of the round, but here comes the blade from AC Design. Just trying to do anything. Here's the Sanronic on the point. Final member here is going to be Millen on the Winston, no primary rage this time. And despite the early advantage here on that point, Slouchers will take the first point. And they are, we're saying like for the last 3 hours, they are 1 point away from the championship. But Seadragons have yet to say die this entire series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, knowing this game, you know, Seadragons are taking this mecha base here. And I mean, like I mentioned, this is the map to do it on. I think the risk variant is a little, you know, not as favored in this matchup unless you're just really playing for these long sight lines, or just kind of how we've seen, like you just play for like spam and then AC and Sky will go find those moments to kill, right?
We'll see where they decide to opt into this. Do we get another soul read up from the Seadragons like we did on Saravasa on point A, where they met them right where they're trying to rotate? But here's both teams going to the default way here, ready to meet up in this little area. Sky just lighting down some damage here, trying to build a railgun for this long straight shot. Trying to find a pick, but the charge in from Millen into the back line puts a lot of pressure into Yak and AC Design. And with the Genji down, a good start here for the Seadragons, pushing on forward. Sky in an awkward position, getting chased down by Corey and Sonic Ronic. Millen does overextend a little bit here, so down your tank makes things a lot rougher here, but Sonic Ronic with a perfectly timed deflect shuts down Sky. Still a very even fight both ways. The point will play perfect for Seadragons early. Do they survive long enough for the overrun to activate for their Mauga? Corey dodging and weaving here the CDs of the Orisa, and we'll do just that. The point in favor of the Seadragons and the numbers as well, pushing them back, trying to do anything here. Melon falling low, has to overrun away instead of into the team. Could be the go button here. As you like to say, this is our turn right now. Goes in a javelin on the Reaper. Use that Wraith form. Fish tracks that down. Still very back and forth right now. Melon falling low. The Orisa javelins are landing. And the kills are here for AST Design. Look at that blade build. But 30% here for Seadragons. Not bad for first cap.
And this is always like the most like terrifying moment. It's just how are you gonna retake into their comp? At least Ari has this ultimate coming online, so does Silver. But the ult economy from the Slouchers, they have like any ultimate once they kind of get to this fight to really work for. And Finch is probably gonna just counteract with this ult here.
Speeding out in the back line here. Melon falling solo as well as Corey. Yep. Here comes the spin though. The spin and the blade. We've seen this combo before, but it doesn't break through. The beat of Ari is simply too well timed. Silvertails cannot survive in the midst of their orbital ray. The rally as well from Frosty for the finishing touches as the point advantage once again goes the way of the Slouchers. Bit of a reset there from Corey, but both were almost there for a fight loss. It's not looking too hot right now for Seadragons. They might have just finally met their match and strained their mental too much.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really up to just kind of building this Melon ult, and you probably gotta play slow for it, but the moment you play slower, the more ticks you're giving to the Slouchers. and time for them to just kind of look for these ults here.
A lot of ults being pulled here. Sunrock will find their opening kill though on the Sky. Over to Ray from Yak, but dies mid-cast. Sunrock with 3! Refusing to let this series go the way of the Slouchers right now. A huge play from the captain. Trying to bring it home now. It's just Frosty on point. It is now last fight territory for the side of the Slouchers. We invested so much in that last fight. Sunrock, it comes up huge when the team needs it most.
And Mel is just going really aggressive, just trying to use these ults to find these kills. And honestly, I like the aggression, but you know, considering the fight was pretty much won.
Was it a little too
you
early there?
I would say you want to like hold them like hostage with it here, but honestly, considering that they have the Blossom, they have their support ults online, you don't have to care too much. Unless I'm wrong here. Unless
Corey
they win
comes
this
in
fight.
from the back. Do they know he's there? The slide in from Sky as well. Puts in some pressure over on towards the Reaper, but here comes a Dub Blossom follow-up here from Corey. They do find 2 of the back fit. Pacer with his own life. And yes, the kills are here for the Seadragons. And probably a quick reset being called from the side of the Slouchers. As he trying to get back in the spawn, will do just that. But now, both support must ready to go for the Seadragons. And we might be going the ultimate distance here, 0.3 on control.
We will. We will. Remember, you know, that support ult app right now. We have double support ult. The only way they lose this is just they get out both support ults first and they live.
The slam in here from Yak down though, but they do lose out on the beat. But with 2 kills for the Seadragons, they have a great position to take this point home and sends all the way. Silvertals gets around the pillar just in time to avoid AST design. And we are going the complete distance here. On this map, Melon is 1 HP, gets jabbed. The rally comes out, but there's just not enough help there from Frosty. The Suzu just too late there. And we are going to downtown. What else could you possibly want from this series here, Neptune?
Bed. I want to go to bed.
Maybe at the end earlier so you can go to bed?
I'm Uncle. It's 11:21. But no, it's been an amazing series so far, honestly. It's what a series, you know, and honestly the best part, I'm watching this matchup and I don't know which comp is favored. Like, I feel like both instances have like an advantage. It really depends on how the neutral goes and what these teams will be doing. And my impression, I gotta give that edge to Slouchers here. I don't think that the Seadragons are gonna be able to run on something as deadly as they have been. But that double speed is threatening too, to like actually enable it. So again, it actually is like so 50-50. I'm so excited to watch this neutral.
Yeah, here we go. Still, when Corey tries to put the pressure over onto Ash, and the opening pick from Corey on the Reaper takes out the Ash. That's a huge opener. That's massive there for the Seadragons to get that Ash off that high ground. They are going to get first cap here. Melon going into the spawn room, but probably has the overrun ready. I mean, Melon is 1 HP. Might get punished here. Wait, and that's 2 kills. Oh, no. The point hasn't flipped here either. AC Design with the reflect will survive long enough. The point will be here for the Seadragons. But Ari falling low. Coming in for the touch, but oh, no.
That's so sad because like Corey just has like the most amazing opening ever. Once they get that point cap, they're able to do the same thing of just going to their spawn as a team.
Oh, no.
And just ringing all over the place and speeding all over the place. But now they have to find a way to do the same thing, but it's going to be 10 times more harder and more difficult here. And honestly, like, so Seadragons had an amazing moment, but this retake, I'm scared. This is probably Slouchers' game to take now.
See where they decide to go here. Melon opting for that Mega Room control. Fish trying to meet him there, but just still again playing that distance here. Silvertail's down early. Not a good start here for Siege, but the dive comes through for the Seadragons. Melon falling low, can't get the cardiac overdrive up in time. AC Design trying to ego over on a Silent Rock, take down the captain. But they got folks on the point first here. Corey 1 HP. Does find Fish, but the point is still in favor of the Slouchers right now. The Staggers are here. And now Silvertail just trying to get back to the spawn. 52% for the Slouchers. They are getting closer, and they're going to have the almost first. And it's looking at almost last fight territory here. 70% for them, or 6%.
Yeah. And if they want, like, maybe take, like, a somewhat semi-aggressive fight before these support ults come online, it's just, like, really sad how much like Corey did, because like no one else has ult charge. Like right now, if they want to, just like look for this ult combo, and they are.
Oh,
like
so
I
both
mentioned,
supports
now,
are dead.
Now
least
I think it's just GG. Like
your advantage is you died so
everything
fast.
clicked.
You know.
Yeah. 20 seconds left, but they're gonna be hunting in the spawn for these people. They're hunting for Corey. They're pressuring. Who's gonna be able to touch? And it's probably Corey. But will Corey die before he even gets Blossom off? That's a real question.
Yak with the overed right here for the fight over on towards the blade of Hassan Rock as well as the beat allowed. Oh, Sword tells 1 HP, but just in time. The beat, they're already AC sign down. A good start right now for side seeing Seadragons. Sword tells falling very low, slam in from Melon here, able to hold on towards that little bit of a cage. So we are going to get the flip here for the Seadragons. Now they got to make the complete turnaround here for their team. Melon again going in spawn, but smartly this time retreating with double speed ring. They will get out.
This is so possible too. This is so possible. You have only double support ults. And what we've been seeing at the Slouchers, I feel like these guys are going to overlap their support ults again and die to Cage Blossom again. And Corey set up for these chokes here. And we open with like the Seadragons ult, which is fine. Like, as long as they don't die, it's so winnable.
Oh, but Corey on the flank coming in here, looking for a Death Blossom potentially
Rally.
here. Lays right on down. And Frost's rally doesn't do anything, does diddly squat! And both support almost down. And now the Seadragons, they have a chance, they have a breath of life.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just coming down to like Fish and ASC being able to play slow or take a quick fight. Get those like, just get some trades going, make the next fight scrappy. But Ari Sonic having these ults here mid-fight is probably what's going to be able to carry this game for them.
Corey did have the Wraith pretty early here, so at a bit of a cooldown advantage right now for the Slouchers. HDZine is hunting in the backline right now, trying to find a support, but Sky first to fall. Hold on. Silent Ride, the captain, trying to bring it back. Melon so low on point, but so is the remaining Slouchers. Has to overrun away for now. Frosty down. Hold on, 20%. Do the Slouchers have one more fight left in them? They're doing a quick reset. But I don't know if they do. The Seadragons much done. We might have just seen a LeBron James comeback from Ironic, carrying his team on his last point over the finish line. And yeah, 5% here. There's just a tracer for a touch here. One last little contest. They're gonna get it in time. I don't think they did. Do they have another touch here?
This should be over here.
HDZine slides on in here with the blade. Fish. Both blades are out here, but Silvertail's down! Hold on, both supports exchange. Fish with a spin on point. Fish! Brings it back. It's just about on point. Melon 1 HP. Melon still 1 HP. Trying to get the heal. But it's not enough. Corey on point. Can he do it? Jevons Corey is not enough! What a play! What a finish! Menyazavut champion! The Slouchers have won the BOON1E Bowl, and that was rushing for you folks back home. My damnedest attempt. What a series!
Holy shit.
Oh my god. That touch from Sky, absolutely incredible. Like, he died for it, but it was the game, it was the championship solidifying play.
Yeah, sometimes you need to sacrifice your own life there, right? And honestly, considering how much I was crying about staying out, honestly, that was so worth it. Just how back and forth at the very end it was. Honestly, like, at the start, it was like very nerve-wracking about like how the teams were going to be doing. It was just going to be super lopsided, but at the end, it got super close, and what a thrilling game, honestly.
And now we have maybe the most enviable job of all time in Aurora history. We have to award a Grand Finals MVP here, Neptune, and take your choice. Like, there are so many people who stepped up for the Slouchers. I have somebody in my mind who went way beyond expectations of me going into this game. I want to hear what you have to say before we bring him in.
For me, it's got to go either to the DPS or the tank, honestly. Just the backbone of that entire game. Not to say like Yak or Frosty or Flammo did anything wrong, right? It's just those three, just like the impact they've had throughout the game, their decision making, and all that just was impeccable, right? And for me, I just feel like, any of those three I'm happy with, you know. So I would love to hear your thoughts on about it.
My thought, we expect AST Design to be, this carry godlike player, but the person who just stepped up when the team needed him the most was Sky. And Sky took the hit scan range, from AST here on the Ashe, on the Sojourn, and just so consistent, just timely pick after timely pick to get that. I don't know if you agree with me on that. I would give it to Sky or Fish, in my opinion. I'm leaning towards Sky. No hate to Fish, of course, but it is Orisa, and I hate Orisa. I know he does too, so he might not want, oh, he doesn't hate Orisa. Okay, interesting. I thought you didn't like Orisa.
But considering how much he plays it, that guy's a lover, I feel like. He loves Riss.
But, I mean, my choice is probably going to have to be Sky, just because of how much they stepped up when their team needed it the most in the grand finals.
Yeah, all right. MVP.
Let's go
Sky.
ahead and bring
There
him
you
in
have it.
for a quick interview. You can go to bed if you want. I can handle the interview, but
I need to stick out to the end.
And they are in the wrong
one.
There we go. Congratulations, Sky, on the championship, on being named our finals MVP for your play today. And honestly, what are your thoughts after a game like that?
Honestly, I think I'm kind of just in shock. I like going into that last bet. I kind of thought that we were gonna lose, but then AST just pulled out the Hero Blade. So
and the wrist ult though
the
too.
hero spin, yeah. But no, obviously the hero was you. The heroic touch with 5 seconds left on the Tracer. That was the only reason your team won. And that was the only reason he gave you MVP for that last second touch. Obviously, nothing else you did this game was worth it. Neptune, go ahead if you got anything.
To be honest, I'm blanking. You can carry the interview real quick. Thought I think of a question.
Okay, well, we came in this game knowing probably the Seadragons will be playing a lot of the Mauga look, and we haven't really seen that out of you guys so far this whole season or really in this playoffs. Kind of like, I think if people had in their minds like, oh, the Mauga comp is just better, they're probably going to win, might keep it close. What was kind of your adaptation? Because we saw you guys really shut down the composition really well. Something we haven't seen all playoffs from other teams.
I think against the Mauga comp, we kind of just, I don't know, I think part of it was just the fact that he got nerfed definitely helped a lot. But a lot of it was just like focusing when he inted in and like making sure that it was hard for him to find like a free engage.
I guess like my question now too, like that I thought about, I'm on the fly thinking, right? How has that like Soj like nerf like impacted you? Because I feel like with this matchup, why like the risk has been like thriving a lot more is due to the Sojourn buffs, right? And we're seeing now even, right, like where you were able to like be consistent on that Sojourn pick and just be able to find a lot of picks and really help carry that like the miscomp matchup, right?
Well, I think it like you can kind of feel it. Like it just feels like you do less damage and build charge slower. But as long as you like hit your rails, I think it's still fine.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, it is late, so to get back, and of course, we want to celebrate your team, celebrate your boys. So if you could not be MVP of this game, it's not easy to choose. We struggle with ourselves. Who would be your match MVP and why? And you know what? I'm gonna give you a bit of a caveat. You can't say AST Design because we all know that he's the GOAT. All right, we all know that. So you gotta be creative here. One last brain buster.
Might be Flambeau because he really like helped keep the energy up and comms and stuff. And between every map, he'd like hype us all up and stuff.
The water boy, shout out to the keep my glasses filled. No hate to Flambeau Jim. My man was having fun with that match.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone said this in our team, but it's like it might have been Frosty, but it's like a map 7 is like 90% mental. So
100%, 100%. I mean, each game is just a mental battle, just being able to like think on the fly, have answers, not be tilted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll just go back to your team, celebrate the greatest finals in Aurora history. You guys have been a part of it, and you are coming out on top, the champions, all the more sweeter. A final congratulations, and I say hope to talk to you again soon, but it's all over, my man. Congratulations again. Enjoy the off season. We hope to see you back here next season.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, with that being said, Neptune, there's no other way that we just got to end it. There's no way we can top that with anything we could possibly say or do. So if you have any closing comments for the season, let it be known, but then I'll go into my spiel.
Nothing about too much, like, I don't know if you looked in the Yapper chat. That's the only thing I would mention, yeah. But no, it's just been an amazing season, just about how close the games have been throughout the season, right? Just compared to like last season, this season for sure has just been like such an upgrade in terms of like team matchups and whatnot. Like, it's been a really exciting season thus far, and I'm really excited about like the shorter off season this time around. Like, end of January is when we're looking to have it again, right? So really looking forward to the next season of the Aurora Esports.
Yeah, and if you need some Overwatch fixin' before the end of January, you can of course sign up for our 6v6 tournament sign up found in the announcements of Aurora, found in the Overwatch tab announcements. You can go ahead and sign up for the Aurora 6v6 Jamboree hosted by Panini and Real Dog. We hope to get as many sign-ups as we possibly can and make that into a weekend tournament. Should be a blast. And I mean, with that, that's all for the logistics and business out of the way. Of course, I'll just speak for everybody here at Aurora Esports. Congratulations to the Slouchers, and I mean a huge congratulations to the Seadragons as well for making this far and giving us the match we'll never forget. And with that, the season is all over. Thank you all so much from the production team for watching our streams and supporting us, and we hope to see you back here next season. And yeah, I mean, I can say all I want, but I have a credit scene for after this one, so we can all shut up and just read that and know who I'm thanking, who I'm appreciating, who I'm sending my love out to. And that would be to you, chat. So stay safe, stay healthy, have a great rest of the evening, and we'll see you in January.
Peace out, y'all.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.